Good morning, good afternoon. I think it's episode 19. Holy shit. Episode 19 of Make the American. Now, don't quote me on that, because I might be wrong, and you know how I don't like to spread disinformation, okay? But it's episode 19. I think we have a good show for you today. I honestly do. A lot of times I think they're shitty, okay? This one, it might be semi-wonderful, okay? Okay, let's see how it goes. So, college football kicked off this weekend. Super exciting. First, let me just say, college football, what an amazing product. I just marvel at how good the football is. The product is so fun to watch. I love getting up in the morning, watching Ohio State or Michigan at 9 a.m., and the day just continues from there. I'm a little worried the Pac-12, which we have not talked about, is dissolving. And so will we get those 7:30, 8:15 kickoffs like we've gotten the last several years? And I love to sit back and crack open a beer on a Saturday night after watching college football, or you've been running around all day long with your kids and the kids' sports, youth football, shit like that. And you get to sit down and relax and watch Pac-12 football at night. It's great. Is that going to go away? I don't know. But I think what we've seen with all of these conferences realigning, everybody changing sides, rivalries going away, maybe potentially, which is that's kind of sad. We're watching the monetization of college football, and I think forever and ever and ever, the product was undervalued. You look at the NFL, and we know the value of the NFL, and you know all that goes with that. College football is finally it's starting to monetize itself. The product is so damn good, and I just think that's what we've kind of seen. The reason for realignment and stuff like that. There should be more money out there. There should be better TV deals, more accessibility to college football games. Maybe it goes all streaming at some point. I'm not sure. When does regular TV just go away and you're streaming everything? But good for college football. I know change is so difficult. Doesn't matter if you're a sixth grader going into middle school. That's damn tough. I mean, we're talking about Pac-12 schools going to the Big 12. You're talking about Big 12 schools going to the SEC. It's absolutely crazy. And now we've got in the Pac-12, my home conference, essentially the West Coast Conference, we've got two teams left, Oregon State and Washington State. Right now it's the fucking Pac-2. And don't sleep on Oregon State and Washington State, by the way. Cam Ward, the quarterback for Washington State, looked fantastic this past weekend, and they look good. And Oregon State, they've got Ungalele. If we all recall, he was a 3-year starter at Clemson. Wasn't good enough. So both of those football teams are very good. They're both probably going to be undefeated, 3-4-0, something like that. I forget. I got to look at the schedule again before they square off. They're probably going to both be in the top 25 potentially. And they're homeless. They're absolutely homeless. But what were your takeaways from the first week of college football? I'm going to give you mine. I was absolutely blown away by the quarterback play. The talent at some of the schools with regards to their quarterbacks. And I guess, why the hell not? Let's start with the Colorado Buffaloes. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. Holy shit. Shedeur Sanders looks like a number one overall type pick. He does. The quarterback from Jackson, as Coach Prime said. I thought, when he named his kid the starting quarterback before they'd even gotten to Colorado, I was like, oh, that might be a little, problematic. Hell no. This kid, what can he do? I think he's 6'2", 220. He can run, but he runs to pass. He threw for 510 yards, something like that. Shedeur Sanders, holy shit. The Buffaloes are must-see TV. And this coming week, they will host at Folsom Field in Colorado the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And for me growing up, Colorado, Nebraska was special. It was special. I'm not sure Nebraska has a prayer in this one. Let's see if Colorado can build off the victory against TCU. They were 20 and a half point underdogs, plus 1,100 on the gambling lines. Let's see if they can go smack a team. They go out and beat Colorado, let's just say 46-10. Whoa, that's going to turn even more heads because Nebraska likes to get beat, no doubt. But they usually squander a lead or they blow it late, something like that. That's been kind of Nebraska's MO for several years. So it's going to be interesting. Travis Hunter, the wide receiver / cornerback for the Colorado Buffaloes, he played 145 snaps. I believe they said it was the most snaps a college football player had played in 25 years. If he continues to ball out like this, how I know the Heisman is kind of become like a quarterback trophy. They get to put up all the numbers. But if you've got a legit two-way kid, it's not like he comes in for 3 plays on offense every once in a while. This kid did everything. He scored a touchdown. He had an interception. He played 145 snaps. If he keeps this up, how is he not the Heisman Trophy winner or literally right there? So stand up, Coach Prime. Shedeur Sanders, you look like a number 1 type overall pick. And you weren't the only one. You weren't the only one. I want to go down the list here. Obviously, we've got Caleb Williams from USC. He's the consensus number 1. That may change. Well, depends on who comes out and when they come out. Obviously, he's great. Caleb Williams has got it all. He can do it all. My Washington Huskies looked absolutely... Didn't score a point in the first quarter against Boise State. Scored 28 in the second quarter. Ended up scoring 56 points for the game. And I'm telling you what, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Penix Jr., the transfer last year from Indiana, is as good a passer as there is in the country. Washington throws the ball deep every other play. And outside of maybe Ohio State with Egbuka and Marvin Harrison Jr., the Washington Husky receiver corps is the best in the country.
Second down and 10. Another 4-man rush. Well protected again. He's going to take another shot. This time reaching back is Adunze. Inside the 10. Gang tackle down at the 8-yard line. It's first and goal. 26.
I feel strongly about that. And it's not like I know every single receiver corps. We've got receivers for days at Washington, and we just go deep and go deep and go deep. We get you into, a passing package, a nickel or a dime. Get that extra corner out there, and then we run the football. We can't line up and run the football against anybody. We pass to run. But Michael Penix, this kid, I've seen he runs anywhere from a 4.59 to a 4.63. I got news for you. Michael Penix is going to have an incredible year statistically. If he goes to the combine at 6'3", 225 and runs a 4.63, he's going to be a top 10 pick, as he should be. So, Michael Penix. I was watching Alabama. Jalen Milroe. The kid has got a gun. He can throw that ball a long way. He looks like a damn linebacker, and he can run the football. He might be the best. Maybe the best pure runner in college football. I'm super excited about Jaden Milroe. Let's see here. Who else? Obviously, there's Bo Nix from Oregon. They played Portland State, and he only got to basically play a half. But Bo Nix is incredible. Sam Hartman from Notre Dame is like a 10th-year starter. He's going to be the best passer Notre Dame has had in a long time, probably since Clausen. Maybe he's better than Clausen. I don't know. I am not high on Quinn Ewers. I'm just not. The quarterback, the signal caller from Texas. We'll see. They've got a big one. It's probably the biggest football game in this weekend, and there's not that many of them. When I'm speaking of Alabama versus Texas. Texas almost had them last year. So that'll be a good one. There's Drake May from North Carolina, who they had a tough battle with South Carolina and Spencer Rattler, but they came out on top and looked great. We'll see about Drake May. I know he's got a lot of the pub. He's kind of the consensus number 2 maybe behind Caleb Williams. But then there's J.J. McCarthy from Michigan, who's really good. He's just a playmaker. But here's what stood out to me. I'm gonna highlight 2 programs. I'm gonna highlight Ohio State, who I've talked about before, and I want to highlight who the hell do I want to highlight? Georgia. So I'm talking about all these unbelievably talented quarterbacks. And I watched Ohio State and Kyle McCord, their new quarterback. And you heard me talk about Ohio State earlier when I talked about, many shows back about how under Jim Tressel, they changed the type of dude they had at quarterback. We'll see about Kyle McCord. Didn't look so supremely talented with the 2 best wide receivers in college football. I believe they beat Indiana 23-3, and maybe Indiana's better than we think. We don't know. But Kyle McCord at Ohio State, for all the talent that Ohio State has, Buckeye Nation has, do they have it at quarterback? Or have they reverted back to the, Kirk Herbstreit days, Bobby Hoying days? I don't know. And the other team is Georgia, and their quarterback, Carson Beck. They didn't look great. He maybe another Stetson Bennett, but I'm not another Stetson Bennett. Yeah, right. You've heard me talk about Stetson Bennett, the 12th or the 4th or the 6th or whatever he is. Stetson Bennett, for all of his shortcomings, he's too small, he's too slow, he's already transferred, he's come back. For all of Stetson Bennett's shortcomings, he was one of the best college football players ever. All he did was make plays in big moments and be as efficient as possible. So maybe a little reason to worry if you're a Buckeye fan or a Bulldog fan, because you look across the landscape of college football right now after week 1, and it's week 1. I should calm down a little bit, right? Maybe not. You look at the landscape, all the talent at quarterback, all the talent at Ohio State and Georgia, 2 of the top 3 or 4 talented programs in the nation year in and year out. Do they have it at the quarterback position? And if they don't, that would be cause for concern. So the other thing I do want to throw out, I talked about the Pac-12 in the opening. The Pac-12 is no more. It is gone. Right now it's the Pac-2. I believe UCLA and Cal and not UCLA. Cal and Stanford bolted to the ACC. Washington and Oregon bolted to the Big 12. Literally everyone now is gone. We have Oregon State and Washington State, but it's kind of ironic. Watching week 1, watching the Oregon State Beavers, watching the Huskies, watching the Washington State Cougars, watching the Oregon Ducks. Is this the best? Watching the Colorado Buffaloes. Is this the best Pac-12 in recent memory? Now, things have to play out. But isn't it ironic, don't you think? Yeah, I really do think that the Pac-12 is dissolving. It's done. It's dead. And they've got quarterbacks for days in this conference right now. Best quarterbacks in the country. And their football team, from top to bottom, this conference looks stacked. So it's been a while since they've had a team in the college football playoff. We'll see how it all works out. But as the Pac-12 is dying, it is rising. Holy shit. Pac-12 football is going to be better than it's been in a long time. So, all right. There's your college football recap for the day. We'll get back to football in a second. We've got the NFL starting this week. Holy moly. Come on, Russell Wilson, you piece of shit. Come through. I doubt you will. You only came through in Seattle when I hated you. But, all right, we'll get political really quick, and then we'll get out. Biden versus Trump. I saw a poll this past weekend. It was an ABC Wall Street Journal poll. that essentially had Biden and Trump dead even. Dead even. And I just think to myself, oh my God, we can't have Donald Trump in the White House. And keep in mind, Donald Trump's 77. I know Biden's too old, as I've said. They're 3 years apart. They're 3 years apart. And one's not a serial cheater. One didn't use campaign funds to hush Stormy Daniels. One didn't play a key role in January 6th, the insurrection, or whatever Machine Gun Taylor Greene wants to call it. One didn't hoard and steal, essentially, our nation's most sensitive secrets for a year and a half while the government pleaded with the Don to give them back. He didn't. He goes to Georgia with fake electoral documents, wants to mess with the voting machine so he can create chaos and say, look, I really did win. This guy, how is he fucking even? Now, all it does for me as a Democrat, as a liberal, and again, I think liberal equals freedom. I don't think liberal, I'm not a part of, the hims and the hers and the wokeness and all this shit. I want to be free. I want to be free. I don't want the government to tell me what to do. And both sides will claim that, but both sides are guilty of it. So Biden can't run. It's just too damn close. I don't think Trump can beat him. You can't look at one poll. You've got to look at 30 polls over the course of several months, and we'll get into this as the race heats up. 538.com is your best resource if you want to know who's got an advantage. If you really want to delve into the what's the noise and what's actually real, 538.com, Nate Silver's website, I'm telling you, is the best resource out there. And so one poll doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. There's always a poll to say something, to represent your side or make it look close. But Biden and Trump are even. And that's a problem for me because I will take any Republican. Right now, if you just told me, hey, Democrats can't be president, it's fine. That's how done I am with Don. He's so toxic for the country. And if he is elected, he'll never leave. He'll never leave. He will put Rudy Giuliani's all over the country in the right positions, in the right swing states. So there's no way you can beat him. You'll beat him by 15 million votes in the popular vote, and somehow, some way, he'll have it stolen. He cannot be president. He cannot be president. So I saw that poll and I was like, holy shit. We're gonna get Biden versus Trump too. This is like, there's a pay-per-view fight and it's an absolute dog shit fight, and you spent $80 on the fight, and then you get on the internet and you find out, oh, they're doing it again, and they want you to pay $80 for this fight. Like, no. You gave me shit once, fool me once, shame on. Oh, thank you, George W. Just the thought of that rematch makes me want to puke. Now, I'm not even going to get into it. So, is Gavin Newsom going to run? Gavin, are you going to run? Get up there. No one else is running against him. Go one-on-one with Biden. Maybe Biden just steps aside then. Come on. We need new leadership. I love Joe. I do not think Joe's a bad person. I think Joe has been a valiant public servant when we hate public servants in this country. Oh, they're all bad. I think he's been good. Now, like I've told you, show me he got $10 million from Burisma. Show me he was in cahoots with Burisma to fire Shokin, the Inspector General, the Attorney General of Ukraine, that everybody wanted fired, Republicans, Democrats alike. Show me there's something there, please, so we can get him out. Republicans, sometimes, especially in the House, they always lack evidence. And that's just a fact. So I'm just down in the dumps about Biden versus Trump. Trump cannot be president, ladies and gentlemen. He just cannot be. And Republicans, you know this. You know this. But you'll vote for him anyway. Oh, because I'm not asking you to vote for Biden. Don't fucking vote. Write in your Republican that you like out of principle. But this guy deserves nobody's vote. He cares about nobody but himself. Nobody but himself. He would turn on his sons, his daughter, his wives. He has turned on them. He would turn on anyone in a second. Well, with 4 felony indictments looming and a lot of co-conspirators, you're going to see those co-conspirators turning on him. On him. So, all right. Fuck politics. Bring the country together, damn it. Here we go. Now, I was able to coach in my very first high school varsity football game on Friday night, this past Friday night. We played Bainbridge Island. I'm a coach for Hazen, and we lost 47-20. Okay? We had with 3 minutes to go in the half, we had to, I'm going to repeat this 3 times, maybe. We had a 20-0 lead. A 20-0 lead with 3 minutes to go. We led at halftime 20-7. Now, the team that I coach for, Hazen High School, we are an incredibly thin football team. I mean, we have no backups. The backups go to JV. And so we entered the game with, our 4 best football players out. Bad grades from last year. 3 of them did. One of them has a separate incident. So 2 of them were corners. 2 of them are stud DNs, first team all-leaguers last year. And then 3 of the 4 play running back. And we're running a wing T offense this year. Our head coach, Coach Bennett, has run the spread, 10 personnel, his entire life. We didn't have the personnel to do it. We switched to the wing T. I think we caught Bainbridge off guard early. We literally had no backups going into the game. And at halftime, we had lost 2 of our 3 running backs. So essentially, we're down 5 running backs. We lost our 3rd running back moments into the second half. We turned the ball over our first 2 plays of offense. So, and then cramping and little knick-knack injuries got fucking contagious on our football team, and we showed how tough we were, which was not very tough. Now, hey, I coach the defensive line, and I coach the offense, help coach the offensive line. No issues with toughness on the line. We were tough. We missed a shitload of assignments. We didn't have a jamboree. So, but literally, there was in 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes left in the game. It was 21-20. And we had no hope. We had 9 kids on the sidelines cramping or some other injury. So we tapped out. But you win some and you lose some. Hats off to the Bainbridge kids, down 20-0. You showed out. You played tough. And you guys were playing both ways too. And you didn't tap. Hey, this is a conversation we're having face-to-face with our own kids right now. But we'll get 3 of our 4 kids, our studs, back. We've got some kids out. I'm not even sure if they're really hurt. Folks, there's a difference between being injured and hurt. When you play the sport of football, everyone is injured, okay? Everyone. Doesn't matter. High school, college, pro, everyone is injured. If you're hurt, you can't play. That's different if you're hurt. Everyone is injured. And our football team needs to get a little tougher. No question about it. No question about it. Anyways, now let me talk to you about the experience for a second. It was a lifelong dream of mine to coach high school football. Getting to Hazen, preparing in the coach's room, different coaching assignments, who was going to handle what, getting on the bus, getting on that bus and riding a bus down to Renton Stadium, getting them warmed up, going through pregame, trying to get them fired up, all of that. And yeah, we lost 47-20. And everyone's gotten their ass kicked in football. Everyone's kicked somebody's ass. Everyone's won close. Everyone's lost close. I don't think I've ever... This game was unique. I've been watching football for a long time. 47-20 was the final, and we led 20-0, and our kids dropped like flies, and we were playing essentially a poor JV team out there at the end. Kids that weren't even playing running back. 6 running backs down. So I'd never seen a game like this. Never. And as bad and as painful as that was, the experience, I'm old, I'm wise, it was incredible. It was a lot of fun. I fulfilled. It was a bucket list type thing. So I'm very grateful for the experience. My 2 boys didn't tap out. They won't. Carter got the wind knocked out of him at the very end. Spencer played lethargic and a little lazy. He was out of shape, but he'll get it fixed. He had some good blocks on offense and stuff like that. So the overall experience was awesome. 47-20, we get our ass kicked, and the experience for Nick the American was really, really neat. So, anyways, there we go. 47-20. Congratulations, Bainbridge. We're on to Lindbergh, and I'm telling you, Lindbergh is half the size of Bainbridge, but they've got 4 or 5 skill kids that Bainbridge doesn't have that we're going to have trouble with. They've got some dudes at running back. They're going to get this number 4 back that's going to play quarterback, and he is going to run around. So it is going to be tough. We'll see. So, switching gears. My oldest son, Carter, asked my wife the other day, Mom, are you ever going to stop tracking my cell phone? And I don't even know what the hell she said, but when are we going to stop tracking our kids' cell phones? And I think the easy answer, this is a prelude into something else, but the easy answer is, son, when you start paying your own fucking cell phone bill, get off our plan, yeah, we won't have the ability to track you, okay? There's the short answer, Carter, my oldest son. Get your own plan. Now, in this day and age, do families stay on plans? You might be 26 years old, and you might still be on your mom and dad's plan, and you might give them money every month or whatever. Hey Carter, there's a possibility your mother could be tracking you for the rest of your life if you don't get off the plan, and that goes for all you kids. Okay, but what I really want to talk about when it comes to cell phones is cell phones in schools. I've fucking had it. I told you, football coaches belong at the top of public schools. Military leaders, get after your ass officers. Tough sons of bitches, because we need discipline back in public schools. We also need cell phones out of public schools. Grades 1 through 6, there should be no cell phones in schools. Period. They should be outlawed. Middle schoolers and high schoolers, I honestly believe this. Parents, obviously, you need backing. You need parent backing because, my kid needs a cell phone. What if I need to get a hold of him for an emergency? Then call the fucking school and we'll pull him out. We'll pull her out. Cell phones should be put away at school. And I know it's in like student handbooks and bullshit like that. There needs to be a zero tolerance policy, almost a zero tolerance policy. And it starts with the parents. We need backing from mom and dad. And you got it from me and my wife. I guarantee it. They should sign a pledge before school starts. It should be a campaign to get all the parents to sign it. If you don't sign this, hey, you can have a cell phone. It stays in your bag. You can pull it out at lunch. You can pull it out during break. If it's seen in the classroom, or you've got AirPods in, are you fucking kidding me? The pledge has been signed. They will be confiscated. If it happens 3 times, you go home for a month. Mom and dad can worry about you, what you're going to do. Maybe they can take time off of work. Maybe you can go get into a bunch of fucking trouble. If I'm a teacher in a school, how do I expect to mold, shape young minds if they've got AirPods in and they're on their goddamn phone? I just used the Lord's name in vain. Oops. So what? So what? Sorry, Jesus. Sorry, God. How do you expect to teach? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a joke. So we need a backing from our moms and dads, our parents out there. There should be a national public school pledge. No cell phones in class. Pull them out at lunch. They need to be put away. And if you get nailed 3 times, you should go home for a damn month. A month. 0 tolerance. See? When I become principal of a school, these are going to be the types of things that I implement. And then I'm going to probably get sued because these stupid parents won't sign any sort of pledge. Oh, Johnny needs his cell phone. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Susie needs her cell phone. No, she doesn't. Put the fucking phone away. Rip those AirPods out of their ear. Are you kidding me? I don't even understand. We're there to learn. It's not a liberal thing. It's not a conservative thing. This is just common sense. Technology is great. It's wonderful. It's not so wonderful that our youngsters have the entire world at their disposal with a phone. Technology's great, but we got to moderate it. We got to moderate it, and we got to moderate it in public schools. So, what do you think about that? I get a little cross, bipartisanship over on this one. Does everybody agree? No cell phones in public schools. Get them the fuck out. Parents, sign a pledge. Can we go with that? Anyways, I was listening to the radio and they were talking about first pitches in baseball games, and so threw out a first pitch, or so threw out a first pitch. And I just wanted to remind everybody of the greatest first pitch that was ever thrown out in a baseball game. It was 2001. It was October 30th, month and a half after 9/11. It was Game 3 of the World Series between the Diamondbacks and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. And George W. Bush, a president that I thought was a dodo, got us into Iraq, who I really like these days. I love me some George W. Bush. I like him. Didn't love him so much back then, but he walked out on the mound. And it was funny. I actually watched a little segment on this, how Derek Jeter came up to him and said, "Are you going to throw from the mound, Mr. President? Or are you going to throw from the base?" And W, who's a baseball guy, used to be a partial owner of the Rangers. He said, I think I'll throw from the base of the mound. And Jeter told the President Bush, if you don't throw from the mound, they'll boo you. They'll boo you. He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll throw. Okay, I'll throw from the mound. And don't bounce it, because they'll boo you." And so he if there wasn't there's a lot of pressure on a first pitch. The time that we were in our country with 9/11, we were so united. The pressure of that pitch, and to have Derek Jeter tell him hey, they'll boo you if you bounce it, and George W. Bush got up on that mound, and he whisked in a perfect strike.
For tonight's ceremonial first pitch, and please welcome the President of the United States.
George W. was my president. He was your president. Yankee Stadium was absolutely abuzz. Standing ovation, tears. This is what America's all about. It sucks sometimes, some sort of catastrophic event has to happen for us to realize how alike we are and how together we are and how united we are. Game 3 of the World Series, George W. Bush, you became my president. I've liked you ever since. Even though I don't have to agree, but I don't have to be nasty and evil. The greatest first pitch ever in the history of first pitches is George Walker Bush. Take a look at it. It's great. It's great. So, hey, I want to highlight, when you see African Americans and police and online videos, it's not good, right? It's bad. Something bad's happening. Now, and then the left and the right, the left overreacts on one side, and then the right, overreacts on the other side. They want their side to be right. But usually, typically, when we see a black person and police on the news, it's like, oh shit, what happened now? What happened now? Well, I'll tell you what happened now. Warren, Michigan. There was a car speeding in the freeway, going double the speed limit. And there were African American passengers. And they were trying to get their 18-month-old, who was not breathing, to the hospital. Okay? And they whisked by a cop, and the cop chased him down and pulled him over. And he immediately recognized this cop. His name is Brendan Fraser. Yeah, not the actor, not the whale, Brendan Fraser. Guy was, nice and trim. But Officer Brendan Fraser realized something quickly, that something was wrong.
Please don't take him! I'm not gonna take him.
At this point, it wasn't about writing a ticket and, stopping the speeding driver. It's like there's an actual emergency here.
Hey, he's getting air. He's getting air.
To the hospital, they said he had COVID, and then he just started seizing. Officer Frazier says the 18-month-old's face was blue and had saliva around his mouth. But as more officers arrived as backup, light breathing began to return.
He's getting air. I can feel it. Listen.
He got the baby. The parents are absolutely hysterical, as you would be. Your child's turning blue. And they were only like a mile away from the hospital. But this Officer Frazier from the Warren Police Department in Michigan, he saved this 18-month-old African-American young boy's life. And I'm not here, oh my God, cops are so great. They're the best. You see, they're just perfect. They're not perfect. They're people, as we've talked about before. But here was a video of a white cop saving a black life. Brendan Fraser, you did your job. You did your job. What a heroic act. I hope they get together, the families, and I hope they highlight that not all cops are out to get black people. Most of them aren't. 99% of them are not. Yes, there are bad cops. There are, and we got to get rid of their ass. But when they step up and they do something like this, it made me feel good. It made me feel good. And it long way to go. I say this. You can always better your best. I tell the football team this, you can better your best. I tell myself this, you can better your best. Police, right? You're not satisfied. This is your job. This is what you guys do. You better your best. You keep after it. Keep getting better. Keep getting better. And hopefully, collectively as a society, we all understand that. Maybe Al Sharpton should step up and say, wow, what a fucking great job. Because he'd step up if there was police brutality on video. As he should. The same way Sean Hannity, my boy Sean Hannity, when he sees police brutality, he should step up and say, no. Warren, Michigan, Brendan Fraser, great job, dude. Great job. An 18-month-old boy's alive, because of you, because of your actions. So, way to go, Blue. Back to blue. I like it. All right. Last but not least, the boys came home from practice the other night, and it was late, and they went to Jack in the Box. Does anybody remember a time when Jack in the Box was good? I do. Jack's got his fucking commercials. I'm not going to sing a Burger King song, but the Ultimate Cheeseburger used to be the Ultimate Cheeseburger, and they had this white sauce. Same with the Sourdough Jack. Does everybody remember? Jack, are you listening to me, you son of a bitch? The Ultimate Cheeseburger doesn't have the white sauce anymore. It's got like ketchup and mayonnaise and a little bit of mustard. The Sourdough Jack is like mayonnaise and ketchup. This white sauce that they had it was like the Big Lebowski and the rug, how it tied the room together. The white sauce, it tied the Ultimate Cheeseburger together. It tied the Sourdough Jack together. And so I looked at their meals and I was just like, geez, this is total bullshit. The Ultimate Cheeseburger used to be the Ultimate Cheeseburger experience. Be again. You've got to have your notes, Jack. Your recipes. What the fuck did you do with the white sauce? What did you do with it? Jack in the Box is in rough shape. I mean, I think half the time you go there, they don't even have ice. No ice, sorry. Yeah, our carbonation's not working. How's this? How's your Diet Coke? Not good. No, we don't have shakes today. Not working. Jack in the Box has got a big menu. I've always liked Jack in the Box. My dad used to get a Nacho Supreme. They haven't had Nacho Supreme since maybe the 80s, early 90s. This massive nacho, and he used to get like triple jalapenos on it. Nacho Supreme, new gasoline, as my dad used to say. As my pops used to say. And then you know what my dad would do in a Jack in the Box drive-thru? I'd be sitting there in the passenger seat, and he would tell the girl that was helping us every single fucking time, hey, this is my son Nicky. He's got a crush on you. He wants your phone number. I'm like 9, and it would embarrass me to all hell. But I've been a Jack in the Box supporter for a long time. Even after the E. coli incident, there was no better deal in the country right after they got nailed with E. coli. Remember that? I think I was in middle school. Then going to Jack in the Box. God, you could get like 6 sandwiches for $4. It was incredible. Bring back the white sauce on the Ultimate Cheeseburger and the Sourdough Jack, and then you can lay claim to arguably the best fast food cheeseburger there is. There you go. That's free advice right there. We are all over the map today, aren't we? And that's why you listen. That's why you listen. We are all over the map, and we will always be all over the map. That's episode 19, you bitches. I love all you, sort of, not really, maybe. Until the next time. This is Nick the American, and I'm getting the hell out of here. I love you. Bye.